Hi, everybody. It's Demetrice and Anika here with Clair Em Motivators. And today we wanted to talk about something that came up when she and I were having a discussion last week. If you haven't had a chance to catch it, go watch her How We Met video with her husband so that you'll understand what we're talking about. But when we were having that conversation, it kind of sparked something that we wanted to talk to all of you about, because one of the main goals here at Clair Em Motivators is to encourage other people to have conversations about things that we probably normally wouldn't talk about. So the things that you think that you don't really say out loud, those elephants in the closet, those skeletons in the closet, elephants in the room and skeletons in the closet, we encourage people to address those and to talk about those. And so we're going to lead by example and have a conversation today about how sometimes Black women feel like other races won't be attracted to them because they're Black, right? Hi, Anika.
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing well. How are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good.
Before we jump into the topic, can you tell me something that motivated you this week?
Absolutely. So, for everybody out there that knows and do not know, I love to decorate.
Oh,
I
God, here we
absolutely
go.
love to decorate. Me just laughing because you already know what I'm about to say. And I have gotten into seasonally decorating. So every change of a season is my favorite. And the fall, although it's not officially here, it feels like it's kind of on its way. So I decided to move away the margaritas and put out my pumpkin spice.
I can't.
Oh man, y'all
No,
don't.
I'm laughing because it is 100 and probably 15
No,
degrees
no,
outside, and she's already talking
no.
about pumpkin spice and putting hay out on the porch with little scarecrows. And
Yes.
for me, the season doesn't change until the weather changes.
Well, that's not fair. It is not my fault that where we live, it is summer 360 days out of the week. So if I used your philosophy, I would never be able to decorate.
You know
So because
what?
of most,
Do
I
you put out your Christmas stuff in July, put out your fall decor in the beginning of September,
yes,
and
I can't wait. I'm already doing it. If y'all actually saw it, it's a mess now, but when it's done, it looks gorgeous.
oh my God. Okay. Well, good for you. I'm glad that you're getting to get your
Yes.
fall stuff out of the
Okay.
attic.
And what about you? Now top that.
Oh, yeah, I mean, that's hard to top. Mine is support. Like, just sharing ideas with people, or even my crab boil that I had yesterday because I wanted
Oh,
to try a new recipe. And
oh
y'all
man.
were so excited to come over and try the food. We socially distanced, everybody who's watching.
It was
Um,
so delicious too.
and it was good, and you guys were just like telling me how good it was. Or even with this, when I called you and I'm like, hey, I have this idea, let's tell all our business on the internet, you was like, okay, cool, let's do it. So just this week I've been really like relishing in having people around you that support you. So when you tell them what your goals are, what your dreams are, they're like, yeah, I'm with it, go for it.
That's a
So,
good one.
yeah,
It didn't top my pumpkin spice, but it's a close contender.
okay, pumpkin spice. So the topic is so interesting to me because when you were talking, and we can recap this portion of the story, basically, when you watch the video or when you hear the story, Anika's husband is Hispanic, and she saw him somewhere, and she said, and I'm going to quote, she was looking at him and he looked like a fruit snack. That's what
Yes.
she said. He was out looking like a snack, and she saw him and she was salivating at the mouth, and she was so attracted to him, but just set in that because she felt like he wasn't going to be attracted to Black girls. And as you were telling me that, at first there was a moment where I was mad because I see you, and I'm obviously biased because we have the same face, but I think you are gorgeous and you're smart. I mean, you're a doctor, for God's sake, and you can cook and you're kind and you're everything that anybody would ever want in a woman of any race. And so to think that there was a moment in time where you felt like somebody wasn't going to be attracted to you because you're Black, that made me mad. And then after the 2 seconds of me being mad, I realized that I had felt that way before too. And I told you that there was this time in college where we went to the same high school, And so we went from a predominantly Black and Hispanic high school, and I went to a predominantly white undergraduate university. And so I'm in this class. This is my first time sharing space with this many white people. And there was this guy that I thought was cute. And I looked over and I was like, there's no way he likes Black girls. There's no way. And if he was Black, I would have like dropped my pencil and slid over. And then, the bend and snap from Legally Blonde, I would have hit one of those numbers and be like, hey, how are you doing? But it never even crossed my mind because I didn't even get out the gate. I didn't get past, he's not going to like me because I'm Black. And so I wanted to talk about like where you think that comes from, how crazy and horrible that is that you carry that around. And even we've talked about it outside of the dating context. We've thought that in professional settings with, trying to make friends, you kind of have this thing where you kind of wonder, how does this person feel about Black people? And then you use that to kind of figure out how to act.
Yep.
It's crazy.
One thing that's funny is when you and I were talking about it, it's amazing to me that we were raised in the same home, raised by the same mom, but nobody told us that. Like,
right.
that's not a taught
right.
behavior. Nobody said, hey, you're less than anybody or you're less than anything because you're Black. And we never have talked about it. So it wasn't until last week where we had the conversation where Gavino and I were doing our video, it didn't come up until then. And I had no idea that you had that type of experience or even felt that same way.
Right.
I thought I was the only one sitting over here in a little bubble that had ever thought like that. So it amazes me how we were raised together, but it wasn't taught. So that means we have to be internalizing this and getting this from somewhere because we both had the same experience, even though it wasn't a learned behavior.
Well, the thing that's crazy to me, to what you just said, is like, not only were we not taught that we were less than, or were we not, nobody told us that we were unattractive and that other races would find us unattractive. It was a complete opposite. We had a mom who told us we were beautiful. She encouraged us to be bold. She encouraged us to go after what we wanted. And so we had people, and even, like I said, you're a beautiful woman. And so you're not insecure. When you were in high school, or if you were in a group of Black men, no question, and that's not to be arrogant. It's just that you're a confident person. The person that I know is confident. And I would never imagine that you would have a moment where you felt like, oh, this person's not going to be attracted to me. And so, like you said, the only place to connect it to is the conditioning that we receive. And I've literally been thinking about this since we said we were going to talk about it. Like, where are we getting that from? And I know for me, it has to be movies, music, TV, like it has to be coming from there, because it's not coming from us. But I think I told you this before. When I was in college, I was walking through the student center and a group of Black guys called me over, and I was like, hey, how are y'all? And then one of the guys goes, not even her. And I'm like, not even who? Me? Not who? What? Like, what are y'all talking about? And one of the guys goes, talking about another Black guy, he doesn't like Black girls. And I was like, huh? Like, his mom is Black. His sisters are also Black. What do you mean he doesn't like Black girls? And the guy said, he was like, I'm attracted to foreign. I like the Kim Kardashians. I like, and no shade to Kim, but he said that that's what he was attracted to. And then when you think about music, where it's like praised to have this foreign look, or, when you see the people that are cast in videos, or the leading lady for a Black actor or a white actor in a movie looks a certain way, we're constantly receiving these subliminal messages that we, as a regular Black woman, that we're not attractive. And what is that?
Yeah, it's beyond me. And I would imagine, and I appreciate your compliments. And I feel the same way. You are the most beautiful person that I know, inside and out. So for somebody to say, not even her, I guess I feel the same little raise.
Right. You get a little like, what?
Wait a minute, why not her? But anyway, but I think it goes back to, if you think about what you see on TV, because mind you, now on TV, there may be a little bit more, people that look like you. But that wasn't the case when we were young.
Right, when we were
People
younger.
did not look like us. That's not, you didn't go to TV to see yourself. You had BET, but outside of BET, you didn't have that image of reinforcing that, yes, we are beautiful. We're telling each other we're beautiful. Our mom's telling us that we're beautiful, but you don't have that reinforced outside of just our circle telling us that. And
Right.
so I think if you are conditioned to think that beauty is this skin tone, beauty is this eye color, beauty is this hair length, this hair color, well, then anytime you deviate outside of that, you think, or I'm not beautiful. My hair is short as I don't know what. And when I very first cut my hair, it was one of the things you think about is, oh my gosh, I just kind of took away some of my beauty. And I think
Right.
to myself now, that is the most silliest
It's
thing in the
crazy, but it
world.
happens. When
But
I
it
stopped
was,
relaxing my hair, remember, I
yeah,
remember the first time I went to Target and I felt like everybody was staring at me. And it's
yep.
crazy because it's hair, but I have been getting
Bro,
relaxers my whole life, right? So that was letting me know that there's something wrong with my hair because I have to put this chemical on it. And I literally went outside and I felt like everybody was looking at my hair. Even though even
nobody probably paid attention.
nobody cares. It's us. We're doing it to ourselves.
Yes,
Spoiler
yes, yes,
alert,
yes.
her and her husband got together. So, it's neither here nor there. But just to think that we have those moments where it's like you said, all the conditioning from this is what the standard of beauty is, and this is how you have to look to be considered beautiful. Or like I said, just as a Black woman, that certain people aren't going to be attracted to you. It's crazy. And the one that I realized I was still carrying around because I got married and it whatever, like I said, it's neither here nor there. The one that I carried around was the assumption that people wouldn't like you, not even from a physical attraction standpoint, just as a person, that people wouldn't like you because you're Black. And working in being educated in predominantly white spaces, I realized that, me, I'm not
Mhm.
shy, I'm not quiet. In those spaces, I wasn't trying to make friends. I wasn't putting myself out there. I wouldn't talk as much because in my mind, they were going to assume that because of where I was from, I was ghetto. They were going
Yep.
to, yeah, like for a while, we discovered this in conversation. We
Uh-huh.
didn't even tell people where we were really from
Mm-hmm.
because it was
Yep.
like, I don't want you to have all these preconceived notions about me without getting to know me once I tell you what city I'm from. And
Yep.
so again, that's another moment where it's like, we never talked about that. We didn't make a conscious decision that that's how we were going to operate, but we did it and then realized how stupid that was. And then
Yep.
probably we're like, this is where I'm from. This is what
Yep.
I've been through, and take it or leave it.
Yeah, take it or leave it. I share with you, which I think we talked about this before, but the same, how you mentioned, we went to the same high school where our high school was kind of a melting pot. Well, the first shelter shock that I had ever gotten is when I had went to a program when I was in college, and my college was still kind of diverse. So, and then in college, you can congregate with whom you want to.
Right.
So you still hang out with like people. But when I went to a summer program that was kind of, I had signed up for because I knew I wanted to go to medical school, that was the first time
I
that
remember.
I was the only Black person, the only one. So it's about a group of 12 of us. And when I tell you, I was so far out of my element. Now it's an experience now that I look back on and I am thankful for it, because just like you, I'm not a shy person, but
Right.
in that instance, when we had to evaluate each other once the program ended. And that was one thing that they had said is that, she's shy. And I'm thinking this is the first time in all of my life that word, somebody has ever told me that.
Right.
And in that same sense, when they did the evaluation, they said I was shy, and then they said I was street smart. Now, anybody who knows me know that that is not a word.
That's not true. And why did you say that about me? Like, what, like,
We just got done talking about pumpkin spice. Like street smart, I am
no,
very smart, but
you're
I'm
so
not
smart.
street smart. Like that's not how I would describe myself. But that's what they put in my evaluation, and
Does
so
that mean you have
it's.
common sense?
I have no idea, and if I ever, if I could ever find the person, because it was not anonymous, I know who said it. If I could ever find them and say, well, what was it that made you say that? Because the only thing that I can put is because you associated that with Black. Because
Right.
as I'm saying, this is my first experience. This could have been a lot of their first experience where they were ever even this close proximity talked to, because we were there for 6 weeks staying on campus. So it wasn't a back and forth. I didn't go home. These people became my friends for 6 weeks. And so this may have been their first experience. And so that, I always chalk it up to, you may not mean any harm, but it's a two-way street. We feel this way, but at the same time, Gavino has told me many times is that he kind of feels the same way too, or he wonders too, do they like me because I'm a different race? So it's not just us, but who knows? I don't know why I was street smart that time, but I was street smart that time.
Well, and to that point, and we'll do a longer video on this later because we can talk about that all day, but that's a microaggression. Like, if you don't know what that term is, please look it up. And if you're working, which hopefully we all are, working in settings with minorities, microaggressions are super important because for most of us, we're not dealing with outward racism. We're not, some people are, but a lot of us are not. But it's those little things like that, like calling me street smart, like mispronouncing my name or mixing me up with the other Black girl in the workplace. Like, all of those things that happen constantly reinforce this idea that we already have that we don't belong here. So, but that, like I said, we can talk about that forever, and we both have examples for days. So we'll do another video on microaggressions, but that, that very thing, like you said, you're in an environment that you've never been exposed to before. And it's
already uncomfortable.
Yeah, you look different. They're talking about things that you can't necessarily relate to. But you still have to adjust and find your place in this space. And then you hear certain things and you're like, oh man, I really don't belong here. And that makes you close off. Because like I said, I would never describe you as shy. And when I realized I was doing that, like, people who know me now probably would be like, her? Like, there's no way you're quiet or shy but there was a point in time where I didn't process it this way at the time. I was just being myself. I didn't think anything of it. I just thought, oh, well, it just takes me a while to adjust, or I just kind of have to get to know people before I open up. But when I really sat with myself and I cleaned out the conditioning and all of the stuff that was up here, which I think I'm still doing, I realized that that's what I was carrying, that I felt like I didn't belong, that I was uncomfortable, that I assumed that people were racist, even though they had never done anything. The assumption that I was starting with was that this person doesn't like Black people. And they ain't said anything, they haven't done anything. And it's like, I'm asking them not to do that to me. I'm asking them, don't assume because of where I'm from or because of whatever, don't assume that you know me or don't assume things about me. But here I was doing it to
the same thing. Yeah, it's almost like the self-fulfilling prophecy, where I feel like I'm not good enough. And so then, because I'm not good enough, I'm not going to put myself out there. And then you close off, and then those that are around you sense that. They sense that you're closed off. So then now they don't come and talk to you. But to you, in your mind, it's always, they didn't talk to me because I'm Black. So it's almost like it is a vicious cycle that we get ourselves in. And I can say that now, sitting and talking, at the time, none of this stuff, I didn't know how it would shape me, but that's what life is. You grow, you live, and you learn. Well, it's because I am oftentimes the only one that looks like me in a room. It's because I had to come out of that shell, just like you, and just like what you're saying. I had to. And so whether you didn't like me because I'm Black, or whatever the case may be, whether because my hair is short or because my hair is blonde this week and it might be a different color next week, I change it up. It is what it is, and you're going to accept me for who I am because I am Anika. And it's the easiest person to be in the world is myself. So I unapologetically walk in the room and say hello, and it is what it is. But it takes you time to get there, and it takes experiences that you build off of. One thing I was just sitting here thinking is, because we say that we kind of put that thought in our head that we're not good enough, or we're not beautiful, or we are, but we're beautiful to each other, and maybe outside races don't feel that way. Sometimes I think too that if you think back to that first male attention that you get, and oftentimes it is going to be your father, that's the first interaction that you have. And so I know for us, and I can't speak for everybody in the world, but think about it, ladies, my ladies out there, if you didn't grow up with your father, my sister and I, we didn't grow up with our father. And so Michi, you can attest to this too, is that you don't quite have that male figure telling you, hey, you are beautiful. Hey, you are gorgeous. Our mom's telling us that. We're telling each other that, but you don't quite have that from that male perspective. And so when you're kind of growing up and trying to find love, I almost think that kind of close you off just a little bit, because you don't get that, you don't get those males telling you, hey, yes, you are beautiful. Yes, you are gorgeous, and anybody would be lucky to have you. You
Right.
don't quite get that. And so I don't know how much that plays in it, but for all of my men out there that have daughters, if you're not already, tell them you're beautiful. That's one thing I have to give to Gavino with our daughter, is that hopefully she does not feel like we felt, hopefully she
Right.
can go out into the world, and she's coming from a perspective where she's mixed. So she's,
Right.
she's two different colors. And so two different races. So hopefully she feels beautiful. But that's one thing we make sure to do, is just to reaffirm that you are beautiful regardless. You're beautiful because your hair is curly. You're beautiful
Right.
because your hair is brown. You're beautiful because you're smart. You're beautiful because you are beautiful.
Right. Just
But that's just
who
a
you
thought,
are,
just
like,
something to pop.
without all the qualifiers, you just are, because you're you. So
Yep.
yeah, and I don't downplay, because we say, like, oh, it's conditioning and we see it in media, and that is a lot of it. And I don't downplay that there are some people that you assume, oh, this person's not going to like me because I'm Black, and it may be true. They might not,
Yeah.
right? But the point is, don't assume that.
Yes.
Don't
That's not
assume
where you start
that
out.
is the case.
Don't come out of the gate with
Give
that.
everybody an opportunity. Be yourself, your bold, beautiful self. And then if you find somebody who doesn't like you because they're Black, they're lost. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't have to live in this space of, this is how you navigate through the world because you think that everybody is this way. But like I said, I can't deny or downplay that there are apps, like, there were Black guys who told me to my face,
Yep.
they did not like Black girls. So it ain't just conditioning. Like,
Oh yeah, it's because at some point maybe we should have a video with them too, because
right.
now that's not occur. Of course that's not the case with your husband. He loves Black women
Right.
because he's married to a Black woman. But I mean, where we're sitting here saying that, hey, they may not like us because we're Black, you have somebody that's your own race that was raised by women that look like you, and they're saying, oh, I don't like that type of a woman. So
He gave
they
a
can leave.
why too. He was like, they not cute. He said, y'all, this man said, I wouldn't have sex with them even in the dark.
That is low.
No, I didn't internalize that, because I'm like, again, you're lost.
Yeah, but still.
And if you think that way, then I don't want you. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And I'm just walking to class, minding my business anyway. Y'all called me over here. But anyway, that ain't what this video about.
But think about, you didn't internalize it,
but somebody can.
But somebody may have. Somebody may have had a similar experience to you that is still a roadblock for them, that they can't move past one foot.
Or imagine hearing it over and over again.
Over and over again. Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yep. So you can imagine it can leave somebody feeling unloved. Who's supposed to love you? If I feel like other men don't like me because I'm Black, but then my Black men don't like me, not because I'm Black,
what does that
for whatever reason.
That leaves us as independent and strong and single, which then it's like, I don't like them because they're independent, strong, and they all single. And it's like, well, come on, man, y'all created this environment. I don't really have a choice. So I'm glad that we're talking about it. I hope that we're encouraging other people to talk about it. And if nothing else, take away, do not carry that conditioning around in your spirit, because it's not true. I don't care what the messaging is. I don't care what the standard of beauty is that you've received. You are beautiful just because of who you are. And if other people see that, great. The most important thing is that you see it, and that you know it, and that you don't adjust your actions or adjust how you navigate through the world because you assume, that somebody's not going to like you, because a lot of times it's not true. And like I said, even if it is, that's their problem, not yours.
Yeah. We tell our kids all the time that if you have to change in order for somebody to like you, if I have to be different in order for you to be my friend, if I have to be different in order for you to be my boyfriend or for you to be my girlfriend, that's not the person for you.
Right.
It's not the person for you. It's not the friend for you. Right. Because if somebody cannot love and accept you for who you are, then just like you said, it's their loss, but keep it moving. You should not ever have to change who you are, because the easiest person in this world for you to be is yourself. And we are all beautiful, not in spite of being different shapes and colors and sizes. We are all beautiful because of that. Have you ever seen a bouquet of flowers? They don't all look the same, but when they come together, it's the most beautiful thing you've ever seen. My little flowers that I have, my little pumpkin spice flowers and my fall flowers, they're beautiful because they have red, orange, and yellow. But it's okay to be different. That's what makes us beautiful. So we embrace those differences, not hide them, not put shame to them, because there's no room for that.
Right. Well, with that word that you just gave, you topped your pumpkin spice. You just outdid your
Yes,
fall decorating.
yes,
Because I
yes,
think
yes.
that's true. Like you said, it's don't let the thing that makes you different, if you're the only person in this space that looks different or sounds different or is from a different place, that doesn't make you different in a bad way. It's actually a good thing because you
Yep,
bring something to the table that nobody else has, you know?
yep,
So with that,
absolutely.
we hope that you guys, I want you to think about it. Like honestly, think about it and let us know in the comments. Is it just us? Is it because we're sisters that we both kind of had this mindset? Or do other women or other people, have you ever experienced that? If you saw somebody of another race, would you approach them? Would you assume that they didn't like you? We're curious to know, like we said, if it's just us or if this is something that happens on a larger scale. So let us know in the comments. Be sure to subscribe to our channel because we upload videos every Monday where we talk about whatever is on our mind to share and to encourage other people to talk about. And we hope that you all enjoyed this video and we hope that you enjoy this week. If you're a fall decorator like Anika, it is September. Get ready for your
Yes.
pumpkin spice, get your stuff out the attic and dust it off. And we will see you guys next week where the men with Claire M will actually be talking about what
Ooh,
men want in women. What
ooh,
they look for.
I can't wait.
I know, I want to hear this because he better describe me.
Yeah,
That's it. Like if you add
yeah.
anything or
My
take anything away,
yeah, Gavina better say I like them with their hair short. I
exactly.
like
Black, doctor, short hair, pumpkin spice. That's your
yes, that's what his description is.
well, all right, sister. Thanks for having this conversation with me, and we'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.
Absolutely love you, sis.
Love
Bye.
you too. Bye.